Welcome everybody, this is Nightsaber Z42. It's time for another episode of Pillars of Eternity. In the last episode we recruited Aloth to our cause. Let me check how much money we have. 220. Not quite enough to get a level 1 party member just yet, so we're gonna wait on that a little bit. So instead we're gonna go ahead and go to the tree of hanging dead people. That's where we need to go, because we need to talk to the dwarf woman who is going to tell us stuff. There she is right there. Caldara. The squat, distended body of an elderly dwarf woman dangles from a thin, crooked bow that sags at the tug of her noose. The bloated purple flesh at her neck, worn away in patches like moth-eaten linen, bulges over the rope that suspends her, and her lifeless head lolls forward rigidly from one side to the other when the breeze shifts. You perceive a faint glow around her that casts no light on its surroundings, but there is a tepid warmth to it, and you feel somehow that you could reach out and touch it, not with your hands, but with some aspect of yourself that has no worldly dimensions. You take a deep breath, clearing your mind, focusing on your objective. As you exhale, you feel yourself spreading out toward the hanging woman, perceiving all that lies between you and her with new, unfamiliar awareness. Once you have expanded enough to reach her, there is a sudden jolt to your mind, a ringing, electric surge of images and words and sounds. Involuntarily, you shut your eyes and feel yourself being pulled down to some deeper consciousness in a space occupied only by you and the hanging woman. And when you open them again, she is staring at you with eyes clouded in a milky fog, her body still swaying in a wind you no longer feel from a tree that stands planted in a misty void. The woman gives a slow nod of her head, the rope creaking as she does so, and she smiles at you.
Have you come here for me, dear, or have you gotten lost? It is both, I think. Yes?
How are you able to speak to me?
Is that what we're doing? Perhaps it just seems that way. Perhaps it is the easiest way for your mind to make sense of it. I think it is a very good choice.
So am I imagining this then?
No, I think not. A pity that. It would be simpler. A mercy even. To not have to wander anymore, no? Alas, we are here, you and I. Wherever here may be.
I need to understand something that's happened to me. She nods, a look of pity on her face, as though consoling a child.
The world looks a little different than it used to, is that it? Feels like you're noticing things for the first time that have always been there. You have seen past the shroud. It only takes an instant. Your soul remembers, yes? Remembers how it sees when it leaves the body, like being reminded of a dream you had forgotten. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Huh. What's a watcher?
What indeed? Long hours have many animancers spent studying such things. Not I, though. Not I. I'll tell you what I know, though, since fair is fair, and here we are visiting, you and I, and it reminds me of better times. Souls pass on, some say through Audra stones, which are the blood veins of the world. They leave the world for a time and are reborn into it, sometimes more than they were before, but usually less and seldom the same. For all souls there is a time where they do not live, yet have not passed on. And those souls roam the world, same as you or I, either leaving or lost. But no one sees them because they have forgotten how. A watcher sees, though, knows what to look for. And sometimes they know a person just by looking at them, know where they've been in ages past when their bodies were other bodies. See memories even their owner can't recall. A wonder to behold when all goes well. A wonder.
What do you mean when all goes well?
Oh, nothing to be afraid of, I'm sure. It's just much to take in for some. Sometimes there's trouble sleeping or other difficulties. You should see old Merwald. He could tell you much more than I. A watcher just like you. Helped many in his day. Took up in an old keep no one would claim. Not far, not far. Kadnua, beyond the Black Meadow. He will welcome the company.
I think I also survived the Beerwick. Do you know why that would be?
Did you now, dear? My, that would be something, wouldn't it? Could be luck, could certainly be. A storm can be a careless thing. Or maybe it got its hands around your soul but couldn't pick it up. A soul can be heavy if it stayed in one piece through its time. Strong souls, we call them in the trade. Cold, I mean. Call them. Those days are all behind me, no?
You said souls break apart over time?
Oh, yes. Entropy. Rimagan's work. We know little of why or how. We lose pieces of ourselves when we die and pick up pieces of others when we are born again, but less than what we lost. We tried to stop it with the animantic sciences, but with little success. No. A very small few resist Rimergan's influence and stay together through some force of defiance, at least for a time. But they all succumb eventually, I think.
Oh, well, farewell then.
Goodbye, my dear. It was lovely visiting.
Caldera closes her eyes and her head slumps forward over the noose, and your surroundings seem to bleed into your vision for some unknown place of waiting. Roll Emma's granted Crucible of the Soul. Are you alright? You seemed lost just now. Yes, I'm fine. Well, that's good to know, but I don't suppose you could tell me what that was all about? I'm a watcher. Well, that is interesting. And I expect that explains how you survived to be awake, In any case, I appreciate your honesty. Since we're traveling together, it's probably wise for us to share these things. Do you know anything about Watchers? Do you know who we are? What we do? Only that they are rare and that they seem to have unique insights into certain soul conditions, as you just demonstrated. Alrighty then, let's do. I gained a level, but Aloth has not gained a level. Instead, we're going to talk to Eder. The smell of pipe smoke, at once earthy and sweet, winds its way into your nostrils. Your eyes trace the smoke to its origins, where you find a broad man with straw-colored hair leaning against a mossy rock wall, his pipe held to his lips with one meaty hand. He looks you directly in the eye, but the look is not aggressive. He regards you with a peculiar smirk.
17 and a half. Well, could be 18, depending on how you count the dwarf woman.
What are you talking about?
The people hanging from the tree. 18 of them. Well, last I counted, anyway.
Is that what you people do for fun around here?
Name's Adair. Though to the people around here, might as well be 19. Don't think I'd put you much higher than 22, 23 tops. You look like the sort that likes to get involved.
What was that about the dwarf?
The dwarf woman. You were trying to figure out whether to count her as a full person. I think you oughta.
Makes you think I was interested in the dwarf woman. Maybe I was looking at the woman right next to her. The hot one.
I was smoking over here, saw you staring at her. Twice I refilled my pipe. You never so much as blinked. Your mouth was so slack I took you for a Radric at first.
I've been out of sorts lately. Of course, we all got our bad days when we stand perfectly still and stare at corpses for a while without blinking. Well, do you know what a watcher is then?
Careful, friend. Best not use that word round here. Could be any number of Radric bootlickers within earshot. Ciphers, animancers, watchers. Same thing in the eyes of folks around here, Radric especially. They come through these parts all the time with their cures, preying on the desperate. None of them are who they claim to be. Of course, seeing you with that funny look, I'd be halfway inclined to believe you were having some kind of communion with that dwarf. Either case, maybe I'm not 19 after all. No offense.
You think you're going to be hanged?
The town's had it in for me for a long time now. Only fellow who ever stuck up for me, well, he's number 18 up there. My headman on the farm. Used to be my captain during the war.
The war? Saints' War. Only one in my lifetime. Fella decided he's the living incarnation of Eothas. Overthrows Red Saras, marches on Dyrwood. So we gave him a Dyrwoodian wooden hello. Who is Eothas? God of rebirth and redemption. Formerly, anyhow. Maybe they call him something different where you're from. I had other questions. I got time. Why was your headman hanged? Got involved. Redrick sent men down here the other day. Said they had it on good authority someone in town was working with Kolsk, plotting Redrick's overthrow. So if he didn't come forward right then and there, they'd hang every last one of us. No one was coming forward, so Swithin, that's my headman, he steps up and says it's him. They took him at his word. Bound to happen sooner or later. If not for plotting against Redrick, then for protecting me. What does your town have, or who's Kolsk? Someone who got tired of all the hangings. He's on the run now. Probably will be till they catch him. What does your town have against you?
The wrong god. That's what it comes down to. Used to be a lot of Aethys worshippers in Gilded Vale. That mess of rocks over there, that was a temple to him, to give you some idea. Then one day, somebody named Widewind shows up on Dyrwood's doorstep. Says he's the living flesh of Aethys. Got an army with him. Suddenly, Aethys isn't so popular in these parts. My brother Woden and me, neither of us believed it. No way was that Aethys. He enlisted, and then I did too. But, he didn't make it back. After the war, people took to punishing Aethys worshippers, accusing them of treason. Got real ugly, especially after the legacy started. Folks needed someone to blame. I was safe because I fought, but then this rumor starts that my brother, that he was on the wrong side. And I wasn't so safe anymore. Until my headman stepped in and said they'd have to hang him to get to me. Seems that's no longer a concern. Of course, the townies don't do the hanging these days, but when Radrick's men come, they got no problem doing the pointing.
You can see why I was eager to leave. If you're gonna be hanged, what are you still doing here? Drinking mostly. Point of fact, I'm on my way out. Just haven't figured where I'm going yet. Not a whole lot of places out there that don't think Wade One's legacy started with Wade One. We could travel together. Where are you headed? Some place called Cadnois. There's an old watcher there who might be able to help me.
Seem to remember hearing something about that years ago. He tamed that place. People would seek him out for all kinds of things. Troubles of the soul, questions for the departed. Of course, that was back when you didn't have to say watcher with a hush on your breath. A man such as that, there'd be things I'd want to ask him. Don't know why I never thought of it before. Not sure how I feel about setting out with a stranger, and a strange one at that. But, truth be told, you might be the only one in town who wouldn't feel some relief seeing me swing from that tree.
There's a fine reason if I ever heard one.
All right then. Guess I'll do some sightseeing. Long as you're not the one picking the sights.
Let's get going then. And with that, I'm actually going to go ahead and level up to level 3. on Roland here. And some of our skills that we want to get, let's go ahead and bump up lore some more. That's all that we can do for lore. I'm fine with leaving this at 3. I think also... why don't we get this up to 3 as well? We'll take survival and athletics up to 3. We'll start doing lore and then maybe mechanics. I'll do that. Because I do want the challenges. I want my challenges to be passed on this character. I don't want him being down. So now we get our level 2 sparrows. And, oh man, here we go. Creates a bizarre and perplexing visual distraction, confusing enemies in the area of effect. Binding web is pretty good. Sorry. I want to see what binding web does. Spins a resilient, vicious web throughout the area of effect, leaving unfortunate victims stuck inside. We're definitely going to take that. Anything that can hinder our opponents and stop them, that's what we're going to do. Infused with vital essences of healing. Merciless case, amazement of dull-mindedness. Necrotic lance, ray of fire. Let's see. What's this do? Causes enemy wounds in the area of effect to ignite, inflicting additional burn damage over each time they are wounded. I remember using this quite a bit, but I don't know how effective it truly is. Causes hot corrosive siphon. Eats away at the target spirit, inflicting corrosive damage and converting the essence into endurance for the caster. That could be good to get us out of a pinch, but I don't know how effective the siphoning would be. Curse of Blackened Sight. Blinds a target, I believe. Fetid Karis. Target becomes paralyzed, afflicted with boiling pustules of foul-smelling liquid that erupt from their skin, sickening those nearby. That could be another one that we'll do. Because being paralyzed for 11.6 seconds, it could be so good. So we'll take that. And we'll be done. I think it get us can choose new spells every other or every level, right? Probably.
17 and a half.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so actually I didn't get any more money, have I? No. Okay. And I sold all the things. Actually, I didn't even sell anything when I was over here, did I? Okay, so we could possibly get another adventurer then. And that would be pretty cool if we could. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Because I'm impatient. I only get 45 minutes to an hour to record these videos. And I'm going to make the most of it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think I just did I just asked about his quest. Retrain character. Interesting. I would like to sell anything that we have doubles of. I'm going to sell. Hatchet. I'll go ahead and sell. That mace, hunting bow, it's another one, a small shield. I don't know why I would need another small shield. Keep the crossbow. Get rid of the daggers. Oh, although I'll keep some in case I want to dual wield. Oh, the armors. That's where we're going to get the money from. Another armor. We can sell all that. And I think this is just regular clothing. Yeah, we'll sell all that too. Trade. And I don't think they have a set limit of how much you can actually sell stuff. I think it's infinite, so I can legitimately sell everything. Did I sell all that? Oh, these are lockpicks, yeah. So I sold it all. I'll keep the torches just in case. You never know. Actually, how much? I'm only getting 10. That's all right. and we'll keep all the materials because you never know. So now I've got more than enough to go ahead and hire a new adventure, and that's what we're gonna do. We'll go ahead and do a new adventure, then we're gonna get started up on some side quests and complete some of that before we head out to the Black Meadow. I think that's the next area we're going. Custom formations, I did not want that. I'm going to go ahead and set ourselves up here, but you need to be in the back with actually what we could do. Do something like that.
All right, then.
Whoops. There we go. That's much better for what we're doing with 3 people right now. Once I get more party members, I'll definitely switch up the formation so we don't suck as much. I want to keep our mages and ranged people in the back. I'd like to hire some help. Alright, so we can get a level 2 adventurer. And we're going to go ahead and do that because if we started him off at level 1, he's going to be so far behind. So I will actually dish up enough for a level 2 adventurer. And it's highly recommended to do that, especially in the area that we're going to. So we're going to create a female this time. And most likely a human. Actually, you know what? Elves are pretty cool too. Could do a dexterity and perception though. I'm trying to think if there's any heroes that are rogues, and I think there are. But even so, I still like the idea of having I don't know, an elf. I kind of like the thought of having an elf. Aomawa. Resolve and might. I don't know. Okay, so it does not look like we get a thief. So why don't we recruit ourselves a thief in the meantime with dexterity and perception? She's going to be, well, let's go ahead and take a look. Wood elves traced their beginnings far north of present-day Adir and have migrated south throughout the forests of the continent, now covering it all the way south across the equator. They are also believed to have migrated across the Sea of Irglanfoth. While physiologically identical to one another, wood elves from Adir are culturally different from those in Irglanfoth and consider themselves wholly different groups. They get the disadvantage against any enemy that is more than 4 meters away. Wood elves gain bonus to accuracy, deflection, and reflex. That would be very good. And the pale elf. It is unclear exactly how long ago the pale elves came to the southern polar regions of the world, but they have lived there for at least 12,000 years based on their continuous contact with Aomaw traders. They appear to be among the most stationary ethnic groups in the known world, migrating within the polar region but seldom venturing far north. They are rare in all northern lands, and most people consider them exotic, if they have seen one at all. All pale elves have increased burn and freeze damage reduction. Not so good for what I want. Let's go ahead and do a wood elf. And it kind of makes the most sense given where we're at. Next. She's going to be a rogue. Yeah. I was kind of considering doing a paladin. But we already have one tank, and I think that would be fine for us. So we can definitely take another ranger. Or sorry, rogue. We'll get a ranger companion later. And so our rogue, we can definitely do like a... I think I'll probably treat her as a backstabber rather. So rogues are vicious killers, feared for the brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in dark back alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Through unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops or as part of surprise assaults, their withering attacks breaking enemy ranks and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. And basically, what you need to know is that they get sneak attack, which applies bonus damage to rogues' ranged and melee weapons attacks when the target has any of the following afflictions: being blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, and stunned or weakened. Also get +1 to stealth and +2 to mechanics, so it's very good. It's going to fill that role that we're missing right now. Whoops, don't click done. We can either get crippling strike. The rogue attacks his or her enemy's ability to move around effectively, inflicting extra damage to and hobbling any enemy successfully hit. Very good for getting that that extra sneak attack damage, I guess, because she's gonna put hobbled on the enemy. But I think it doesn't say if this is a range or melee. A dirty attack that makes the opponent unable to see, inflicts extra damage, and blinds the target. That's 1 per encounter. So blinded for 10 seconds, hobble for 10 seconds, accuracy versus reflex versus fortitude. Kind of like the idea of having 2 of the crippling strikes. So we'll go ahead and do that then. And if anything, if this works with ranged attacks, then I will also bump it up with like a bow or something, or a crossbow. All right, we're going to bump up dexterity quite a bit. Because we want her to attack fast. But also we want might. We're going to recommend might. Highly recommend accuracy and reflex and grants bonus to interrupt. We'll definitely want some of that as well. Intellect, not so much, I don't think. To the will, defensive influences, durations, and areas of effect for all abilities and talents, not so much. Combat contributes to both damage and healing as well as fortitude defense. So if that is true, then we're also going to want to bump that up a little bit. But I like having our dexterity up to 18, might 13, constitution 12. That seems good. I'll keep perception as the second highest, and we'll bump that up along with dexterity, because I really want to be accurate with her. Never miss a shot. A deer. Okay. Where should she be from? Double clubs. That's funny. She could be from Ovalia as well. Maybe we knew her. Funny. I don't know. Now let's make it from Adir, because that's where the wood elves are known to be from, especially in the equator, so that's fine. It was going to either be that or Old Valia, and we could have like some sort of back story where she knew our main character, but I think Adir would be fine. She's a mercenary for hire that we're hiring to be with us. And she is going to be... Well, I guess it wouldn't make sense if she was a colonist. You never quite fit in no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You are more comfortable on the road traveling the world. Or we could be a mercenary. Could be a merchant too. I like mercenary. I'll go ahead and do that. She's a mercenary. Should really export some of these portraits from others people, because none of these portraits really do it for me. Okay, I like the first one better. Let's go ahead and start with number 1, the bald. Number 1 is always bald. I think these are also the same as the... No, they're not the same. I kind of really... Oh, I like that. And that's also pretty cool too. I could sort of see that. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go with this one.
I'm here. I shall lead us. My eyes are peeled.
What is it?
I'm flattered. Let's go. They'll never know I'm here. Hey there. I'll lead the way. Let's go. My eyes are peeled.
I like feisty. We'll do that. And for her name... Oh, you know, I'm gonna call her Solus. Alright. And she's immediately gonna level up because she starts off as level 2. And we're gonna put her into mechanics, since she'll be the one to disable traps and stuff. So mechanics for sure. She does get backstab. Dramatically increases damage done from stealth or invisible or invisibility. The rogue may use melee or ranged weapons, but must be within 2 meters of the target. That is... We'll try that. I don't know how well that's gonna work out though, because she gets bonuses if they're 4 meters away, 4 meters or greater away. But anyways, we'll set her up like that, and she's got double daggers to start off with, I think. Yeah, daggers, and we'll go ahead and give her the crossbow as well. She should be able to equip that. I might set her off with a rapier. It's fast, it's one-handed. It's got accurate 1. I don't know what that means, because that gets accuracy +5, and enhancements 0. Okay, so basically those are the same. So why don't we go ahead and do that? We'll have her do like a rapier and dagger, because I don't think I have any short swords. No, I just have daggers and stuff. Okay, that'll be fine. Itter, you have a saber. I'm gonna bump you. Yeah, get rid of that too. I'm gonna give you the mace. So there, we're gonna have a mace for a little bit. Actually, yeah, the mace. And we might go ahead and switch it up with a saber from time to time. Depends on what we're fighting. And you've got your stuff set, although you're pretty much never gonna use that rapier. I can tell you that for sure. All right, we're good to go. And I think we've stalled enough for now. Formation wise,
I've got this.
no, she's not gonna be up front. We definitely want to set her in second place. I know there's a way to set custom formation. I just forgot how.
Certainly.
Be very nice if this actually worked, but it doesn't. And that's fine. We'll do it like that. Actually, no. We'll go like this. There we go. Much better. Okay. We are ready to finally actually do something now. It's been a very dialogue heavy and character creation-y type video, but I think we're finally ready to head out into the world and see what there is to be seen and, you know, not die and stuff. And of course, we're going back to the area we were just at. We're going back to the Dyrwood because there's stuff that we want to do there. There's a couple quests that we want to do, and there's actually a quest that we can get while in Dyrwood. So we'll go ahead and do that. And of course, it's a spooky night down here. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over to this tent-ish area. Make sure I have my stuff. Oh, it's not over here. It's further back this way. I was for sure there was going to be somebody here. Well, there will be. There was supposed to be somebody here. Oh man. Did we pass up on it because we didn't talk to him the first time? We might have. There's a guy that's supposed to be right there. And there's like a little quest that you can do, but apparently he is gone. Alright, there's a young wolf right there.
Keeping an eye out.
And what we're gonna have you do. What? Oh, I forgot to equip the number. Yeah, I forgot to equip that to her. Okay, now she's going to attack.
Let's go.
And boom, one shot. Can I select everybody, please? And that is it for that wolf. He dead. But there's some loot.
All right then.
Actually, you need to be
Yeah.
stealthed as well.
Of course.
Wolf hide is going in a stash. What does it say? Shattered pieces of crate are strewn across the dirt along with a few muddy vegetables. We can go up, and I think there's a cave up here as well as a pretty tough enemy to fight to start off with. But with this party, we might be pretty good. There's a body over there. But I think we already knew that because we've already been there. We want to go to the area that's all black, because that's the area we have not been to yet, and there's a nice open area over here. Let's go over and explore to this side. Yeah, we want some of this stuff. Admith's Wort. Okay, here's the cave. And we're going to... What's my quick save? Quick save is F5. Alright. I'm going to quick save right here because this is where it's going to get interesting for sure. Okay. It's like, I hope I'm so stealth. And there it is. There's a bear right there. Okay. So.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. We missed the bear. Okay. So. For sure, we're going to have Eder move in. Hopefully. Actually, let's have him move in and trip up the bear. Solus is going to switch it over. And she's going to move over to the side. Aloth, he's probably... Must be honest, he's probably gonna die. But we'll see. What are her spells? That's a Cone of Rhea. Dazzling Lights. Leaving them dazed. That would be nice if they could get dazed. Okay, we might go ahead and do that. As for Roland, he's going to use Arcane Assault probably. This is once per encounter. Yes. And this is twice per encounter. Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Nasty, nasty. They are actually going for... They are going for Solus. But we're gonna go ahead and beat this bear up. Yeah, get down. Okay. Bear is down, and I don't think I'm going to be able to survive a direct attack. Disengaged. Yeah, and she got hit there, so she is down. So it's gonna be all up to Eder right now. As for Aloth, let's go ahead and target both.
Keep it together.
Roland needs to do the same. Okay, did 17 damage on the bear. Both of you on the young bear. The young bear is dead. That's good to know. Go ahead and attack. Aloth, what can you do, Aloth? I can help. You only get 3 of those spells a day. Does freeze damage to target and reduces accuracy. But you gotta be in there pretty close. I mean, we can try that, but I really don't want him close at all. Although, yeah, no. We're not going to do the fan flames. You're going to have to get in close to do that. We'll use Minolithas, minor missiles. Whoops, I think I... There we go.
Not quite.
Yeah, we're just going to have to rely on basic attacks to kill the bear. Die, bear. That web lasts for quite a while. I'm pretty glad. Although, Ed is almost, yeah, knocked out. That's not where we want to be. Okay. Aloth leveled up. That's good. We'll go ahead and level him up. We want him... We can get his lore up. That's going to cost quite a bit. And we'll do athletics and survival as well. Combustion wounds. We'll set him up with combustion wounds. And maybe we'll set him up to be a healer as well. There is another wizard that we'll get later, and I think he's a healer? Maybe or maybe not. I can't remember if he's the... Nah, he's got to be the healer because Aloth is the elemental mage guy. Wouldn't make sense for them to put two of the same type of character.
Time to see and not be seen.
Cave Coral. Can't remember if there was another enemy. Nope, no other enemies. Although we are already in perception mode, so I'm also looking for traps. Let's go ahead and read this guy. We'll read his soul. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Let's reach out. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you have been struck a blow, head reeling as you tremble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edge of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale, hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest, as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, and fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And then there is a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. The vision recedes and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet and the specter lingers. And in the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. I met him on the road, your friend, although I didn't, actually. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him, and see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment the spirit seems to burn bright and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. Cool, so we're gonna get some revenge on that guy. Hope he's where he's supposed to be. We got a great sword. Don't want that on anybody yet, especially with only one tank. Alright, so there we go. That is one of the quests that we can, or that is the quest that we can get in this area. Go ahead and quick save. Yeah, now what we want to do, I want to see if he's back. Because if he is, I definitely want him. I want to complete that quest. Get that revenge, that bittersweet revenge. I was like, please tell me we're in fast mode. That's a campfire up there. Did you have swollen eye, -4 perception? Ah, here he is. He's inside the... No? Folded note. My dear Nanton, please be safe. Know that whatever happens, I still love you. Nanton. Okay, we've met him. He is the guy back in Gilded Vale with Eodrid. I think Eodrid, the lady that we kind of met or ran into. That's right. I always thought he was standing right there. And I guess he was the first time we came around. Alright, there's an outlaw right there. I'm going to position everybody to be right there. Oh, let's move a little closer so we can see him. And I don't think her stealth is quite up to it just yet to get back around him. But I will come up and see if there's anybody else. If I could, I would definitely like her to go ahead and pick him off. Oh, nope, get back. Okay, she's gonna have to switch weapons and hope that we're 2 meters away. I hope we're 2 meters away. Actually, I know what we could do. We're gonna have her step up right here. And pop. 19 damage, that's pretty good. Meet him. Everybody else, go ahead and take your shot. There we go, he's dead before he got to hit anybody.
Alright then.
Kinda anti-scouting while in combat.
Keeping an eye out.
Alright, everything is going in the stash. Have I come up here yet? I have. So I want to explore down here towards where the fort area is. There's a note on that body that we want. I think it's a quest item or a quest for later. I'm going to pick this young wolf off. I think I'm going to attract more wolves.
Let's go.
I'm going to start off with some basic. We're going to have Eder come on up. Oh, yep. Hey, who's this up front? That's Aloth. Why is he up here? Aloth, move. Eder.
Hey.
Come on. Oh my gosh. We're so screwed.
Yeah.
There we go. Although if Eder could get over here and flank this wolf. Oh, she's got 2 enemies on her. This one's knocking the target back. That's exactly what I want to do on this young wolf right here. And we have Aloth. He's going to attack this young wolf.
Yes.
Okay, wow. Who did 41 damage? Oh, that was my Grimoire Slam. Wow. My gosh. We wrecked him. Yeah, focus on the young wolf. We'll deal with them. There we go. And we're going to leave it at basic attacks for the meantime. I think that young wolf is targeting Roland, which we do not want. Go ahead and knock him back. Did we get the knockdown? Yes, we did. That should be some extra damage from Solus. And she's running very low on HP. We'll loot everything, put it in our stash.
Of course.
She's not doing too well. But as you can see, we got 100 XP from that. And yeah, that was almost as much as fighting 3 enemies. So we definitely
Look at this.
Solus has discovered something. Well, Solus can go discover it over here. Oh, we got a lot of stuff. Minor ring of deflection. We'll give that to Solus since she found it. And everything else is going into the stash because we're going to sell that. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. We're going to examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. We'll scale the wall. The crumbling wall is of considerable height, even now, and its uneven surface promises a difficult climb. Who will scale it? I think Ed is probably going to have to do it, but what we'll do, we'll leave and we're going to see how much athletics he has. He's got 5. I think Roland only has 3. Yeah, 1 and 1. So Ed is going to be the one to climb the wall.
Hey.
Ask Eder to climb up. Eder finds a handhold upon one of the larger stones and starts up the wall. But the uneven footing makes the climb difficult, and after a short distance, Eder is forced to come back down. Okay, so we don't have enough to actually climb it, which is sad. We'll need to find some climbing tools, and I think we can find some of that at the
Time to see and
blacksmith or one of the shops, like a town. Bandits. Do we want to engage with them? I don't know. Why don't we camp? We'll rest and then we're going to camp right here. That way we can get rid of her -4 to perception and we can get her back up to full HP. Everybody else is getting some bonus to damage reduction. That seems fine. And we're going to kind of do the sneaky thing. Although I wish I could attack them right here. But apparently not. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help! Please, help me. Ah. One of the bandits gives Tenfrith a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. So that's the missing cook that we were supposed to look for. Okay, so 3 bandits. I really want to make the rush right up here to that bandit. Everybody else is going to target that bandit, but Solus is going to do something different. Or maybe not. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and flank this outlaw and get him taken care of. Yeah, go ahead. Focus on that. And we're just going to take out the bandit with ranged. I take it that you weren't able to get in close. Okay, let's do it again. One more time. We'll waste all of our spells because these two should definitely be able to take care of everything.
Eh?
There we go. Got the pathing all set. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Oh, no. How do I cancel? No. You're going to keep attacking. I want these two. Keep attacking at range. There we go. Dead. And soon to be dead. Yep. Got him. Go, let's talk to Tenfrith. By the flame. Thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for those ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. Did Pasca send you? She must be beside herself. I must get back at once, but listen, the next time you're on Gilded Vale, make sure you drop by the Black Hound. I'll let her know what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll go right by you in turn. Oh, to be back at my oven again. Alright, so we got a quest done. And all that's going in our stash. And all this guy is going in our stash. And all these vegetables are going in our stash. And all this stuff is going in our stash. We can eat that stuff for some temporary bonuses. Alright. That is the whole entire area. I'm going to go ahead and leave. And we will see if we can find some tools at the blacksmith that can help us climb that wall. And we'll see if we can do that later. There we go. Back to Gilded Vale. All right. To the blacksmith. Oh. There we go. Let's go ahead and get that fast mode activated. Oh, look at them. They run so fast. Oh, I want to get that. All right, blacksmith. Give me the news. What can you sell me that'll help me scale a wall?
Traveler.
Let's see wares. We might as well sell here as well. But I'm looking for something in particular today. Rope and a grappling hook. And you know what? I will go ahead and sell all that stuff. All this extra stuff. So the daggers, hunting bow. Yeah, we don't need any more of that. And the armor. Oh my gosh, armor sells for so much. And now he's giving me 7 pieces. Okay, so we got that taken care of. And I think that's going to do it for this episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Check the description for my Facebook and Twitter information. And while you're at it, give this video a huge thumbs up to support this series. And subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you guys in the next video.